All right, let us now answer example 1 here. It says we need to state the value of R for the following compound interest rates. Now, it says we need to do it to 2 decimal places. Can we just be a bit naughty and not do that? I think that doing any rounding here kind of destroys the question a little bit, so we're not going to round. All right, can I get you to imagine something for a moment? You have just received $100 and you're very happy, and you decide, like the wise investor that you are, that you're going to go to the bank and you're going to invest that $100. And the bank person says, you know what, you can put it into an investment account and we will give you 15% per annum interest on that investment. So we're going to give you 15% per annum. But you need to decide whether or not you want that to be compounding yearly or compounding quarterly. And then you think to yourself, what on earth does compounding mean? I don't even know what compounding means. Well, that's what we're going to learn now. Can we come to this one for a moment? Can we just draw a line above it? And this line is going to represent 1 year. 1 year. Now, if you compound yearly, it means that your interest is only going to be calculated once. So if you put $100 in, that means your interest is only going to be calculated on that $100 once. So let's just put an I at the very end of the year to represent that you're only doing it once. In contrast, compounding quarterly, let's again draw a line which represents 1 year. If you compound quarterly, what it means is that they're going to calculate your interest 4 times. Because quarters, there are 4 quarters in a year, if I can do that. So they're going to calculate it after the first quarter, after the second quarter, after the third quarter, after the fourth quarter. They're going to do it 4 times. So that's kind of the basics of what it means to compound, how often you're calculating the interest on your investment, how many times per year are you doing it. We're going to talk more about it, but that's kind of a big basic idea of it. Let's now kind of get into the nitty gritty of it a bit more, and let's find this R value that they talked about, because that will help us on our way. How can we figure out that R value? Well, the R value is what we see up here in our recursion relation. It's this R here. And you figure it out by using this little formula here, this one. So let's come down here and write down that formula. The formula is R is equal to 1 plus R over N over 100. Let's sub in what we don't know here. So we've got 1 plus. Now, this little r here represents the 15%, so it's your interest rate. The N, what does the N represent? The N represents the compounding period. So if we're compounding yearly, it means we're only compounding once per year. So it's 15 over 1 over 100. Now, 15 over 1 is just 15. 15 over 100 is 0.15. So this is going to be 1.15. That is going to be our R value there. So what that means is that at the end of the year, they're going to give you 15% of your money back. Can we just stop for a moment and talk about this idea of why there's a 1 in front of it? Because this is actually important. Why is there a 1 in front of our number there? Let's say you went to the bank and you gave them $100 and you wanted to earn 15% of that by the end of the year. So you say, all right, I take my 100 and I times it by 0.15. And sure enough, 100, so 15% of $100 is just $15. Now, at the end of the year, if you came back and they only had $15 in your bank account, you'd be thinking, what happened? I invested $100. I earned 15% interest on it, which is $15. That means I should have $115, not just $15. And you'd be correct. So what you have to do when you're trying to figure out your balance, when it's growing, is you put a 1 in front of it. And now, as you can see, we end up with 115. That's why there's a little 1 in front of it there. So that's important for you to know. That's why there's a 1 in front of it. And that is mentioned in this little note here, the fact that R will be a positive value greater than 1. That's why. All right, let's now come over here. Compounding quarterly. Let's figure out the R value. To figure out the R value, we're going to use that formula again, which is 1 plus R over N over 100. 1 plus, now R is 15, over, now N here is your compounding periods. If I'm compounding quarterly, N is going to be 4, because I'm compounding 4 times in the year. And I will divide it by 100. To figure this out, I'm going to have to go 15 divided by 4. So it's going to be 3.75. Then I'm going to divide it by 100, and then I'm going to plus 1. So what I'm going to end up with is 1.0375. That's what it's going to be, 1.0375. What does that mean? Why specifically did I take that 15 and divide it by 4? The reason why is because every quarter I'm going to be earning 3.75%. So every quarter, I'll put percent there. I'm going to be earning 3.75%. Every quarter, I'm going to be earning 3.75%. Every quarter, I'm going to be earning 3.75%. And if you were to add all of these up, guess how much you're going to earn per annum? If I was to add all of these up, you're going to earn 15%. And that makes sense because we were told at the very beginning that it was 15% per annum. So this idea of compounding quarterly means that each quarter you're earning 3.75% on your investment. That's what it means. So your R value, therefore, is going to be 1.0375, but that's going to be every quarter. You're calculating that every quarter. We still haven't answered the question of what's going to earn us more money, have we? Is it going to be 1.15 or 1.0375? Is it going to be, when I'm compounding yearly or quarterly? What's it going to be? Well, let's just take a break here for a second. Let me catch my breath, and we're going to talk about it.